Monday morning, and a splendid one, and a joyous and prosperous one to you. May you have a fantastic week. It's wonderful to be speaking to friends and all over the world. I have a very frustrating time with technology because to me it's very unreliable, but it's a fantastic tool. So hello, God bless you, have a wonderful week. Friendship is such an interesting thing, and I want to speak to you about friendship, and especially being friends with God, friending God. You know, Psalm 25 verse 14 says, friendship of the Lord is reserved for those who reverently fear Him. To them He reveals His covenant and its deep inner meaning. So yes, even in the Old Covenant and Old Testament, friendship of the Lord was a possibility. And this is the thing, it is a possibility. Not everybody has that friendship, because Jesus Himself said a few times He repeated it, especially in the book of John, chapter 14 and chapter 15. It says, we can be His friends, but friendship goes two ways. He showed His love for us. He showed His commitment to us. He showed His desire for us. He showed His sacrifice for us and His blessing for us. How much He loves us. And He is our friend. How much of a friend we become, that's our choice. Because unfortunately, most people are more an associate of the Lord than a friend of the Lord. Because He said, if you love me, you will obey me. And so obeying is part of it. Then there is reverence. The reverential fear of the Lord is reserved. His friendship is reserved for those who reverently fear Him. So there is reverence and respect and honor due Him. We call it worship. And then there is laying down your life. What position does He occupy in your life? You know, you have associates, you have friends, and you have best friends. And associates you commit to a degree. Friends you commit to a greater degree. And best friends you are very much committed to, and lay down your life. If they ask you, if they phone you, if they have a need or a crisis, then you forsake all and you run to them to bless them and to help them. Now, friendship of the Lord is the same. Peter understood it well. He said, we have been given all things pertaining to life and godliness. Even the Lord's friendship. He says, and He calls us to His own glory and excellence. Now, obviously, friendship of the Lord is a very glorious thing. And He's an excellent friend. But how do we commit to this glorious possibility? This glory to which we have been called, that we can become His friends. And how excellent are we in this? So that's in the laying down of your life, not only to your fellow man, but to the Lord, obeying what He taught and what the Bible teaches us, and dispensing that which He has placed inside of you. Because obviously, when you are saved, He comes and He lives in you. And then Him and Father, they abide in you. They sit on their throne, and that throne is in your heart. And out of the abundance of that heart, the mouth speaks. And you obey Him. You demonstrate Him. You don't put the focus on you, or even with the glorious relationship you have with Him. You put the focus on Him. And then He justifies you, and He honors you, as He's called you. And He calls you His friend. And He lays down His life too for you. He did it on the cross because He took all your sin. It's not Him that hung on that cross for you. It's Him that hung on that cross as you. Your sin that hung on that cross. What kind of a friend is that? Man, that's just spectacular. Wonderful. And past that, He empowers you that you will not live a life that is as demeaning and degrading as where that sin took you and kept you. No, then He gives you a life that you can enjoy, an abounding life, one that is in abundance. And out of that abundance, the mouth speaks. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Now that overflowing abundance is living in your heart, is residing in your heart. It's a live thing. And you let it out by speaking, by committing, by demonstrating. And such a wonderful way, then the Lord comes and He embraces that friendship and He honors that friendship and He justifies that friendship for you and for man, that other people can see the kind of relationship you have with the Lord. And that is what they want. That is what they want. So, this gospel that we preach is a demonstrated gospel of love and of peace and of joy in God, through God, by God. Because this thing can only come to its fullness, and this wonderful and exotic fruit of the Spirit and of God's goodness, the things that is beyond imagination, what eye has not seen and ear has not heard, nor has entered into the mind of man, but by the Spirit. And when people see these things of the Spirit, they cannot recognize the Spirit, but they can recognize your relationship and Him justifying you. And that is what they want. And that is what they pursue. And if you introduce Him to them, and they are as faithful as you, and as committed as you, they have the same relationship with Him as you. This is God's kingdom, and this is the great blessing. And I hope that you have such a fantastic week this week, that you're abiding in Him. Your fellowship, in other words, with Him will flow through you and into multitudes of lives, touching them. And as it touches them and they awaken to this righteousness, and they ask of Him, as you proclaim Him to them and His wonderful love through you and for you, and as you become His witness, that they will taste and see that the Lord is good. And those who have a relationship with Him, may their relationship become as your relationship. And those who do not have that relationship with Him, those who are not saved, may they so be touched and so influenced and so called by the wonder of this glorious relationship, that they ask after Him, and that you can share Him with them, and that they too may walk as you walk with Him. Have a fantastic week. God bless you.